I'm Douglas K. Pearson, and we're talking about Coffin Light. 17 years ago, right after murder of a Mexican sailor in Lake Michigan, a coffin lid appears on this Coffin Lighthouse out here, naming a lighthouse Coffin Light. The wife of the murder victim, she lights out of town, goes back to Mexico. See, she lived on the north side of the ranch with the Mexicans, and she was from town, and she fell in love with a Mexican, and she was a white girl, and that was one of those things you just, well, some towns are just like that. I don't know, I can't explain it, okay? And I'm not gonna make a stinking statement about it. That's just the way it is. You don't mess with the order of things in some towns, especially this town. 17 years later, though, when that lady returns with her daughter, because she was pregnant when she left, took her grandfather's advice. See, he's the Mexican who inherited this huge farm from Miss Vanderdyke to begin with. Miss Vanderdyke, you can say you don't mess with the order of things. Let me tell you, Miss Vanderdyke, she'll mess with the order of things if she wants to. It's her farm, her Centennial Farm. She'll do whatever she wants. She gives the 14,000 acre farm to the Mexican to manage. He's got 2,000 odd workers there anyways, and most of them are Hispanic. And her daughter, Texas Tech, she hated her since she was a hippie in the 60s, hippie in the 70s. She hated her pothead boyfriends who always laced all the crops with pot back in the 80s during the drug czar wars. Almost lost the farm. Needless to say, Texas Tech, she doesn't like it very much. She's in town just simmering, and she develops a bunch of friends, and they just simmer together, and that's why they killed that old Mexican son. That old Mexican, though, doesn't report the crime, and it just festers. Unsolved murder, unreported murder. Teenage daughter comes back. Samantha from Mexico starts asking questions about Coffin Light. Starts asking questions why the town changed its name. Starts asking all sorts of questions. Of course, she can't find any answers. So you know what she does? She goes to town. Ends up meeting the boys whose dads drowned that Mexican. And those boys, when their dads are drunk on New Year's Day and every other day of the week sometimes, well, those dads do more than whistle Dixie. The story comes out, they know it. Then all of a sudden this Mexican girl, it's her dad who's murdered. There's some issues, deep-seated issues that gotta come answered. And things, even in Michigan, come full circle.